All right, hey, what's up, everybody? So I just got done with NARPM National Convention, the conference, and a question that we got a lot. Look at this out here. This is awesome. So a question I got asked a lot is, what do you guys do? What do you do? Are you a lead service? How do you help me get more doors? And my wife was asking me this question. She's like, it's really frustrating that so many people know who we are and so many property management companies are inside our Facebook group, the DoorGrow Club. So go to doorgrowclub.com if you're not in there. And but they don't know what we do. And I said, you have to understand, Ashley, here's why. So I had to explain to them that the reason that they don't understand what we do is because what they're really asking is, out of these things that I know about, which are SEO, pay-per-click, content marketing, social media marketing, websites, this sort of stuff, what do you do out of these things I've heard of that I'm familiar with to grow and scale my company? Which of those things do you do? And out of all of those, usually the answer of the things they're thinking marketing-wise, it's none. We really don't do any of those things. The only thing we do is the website, which is a small piece of what we do. And so a lot of people then think we're a web design company. So the way I've been explaining it to people is I say we are a consulting firm that helps people grow their business. We identify the leaks and the problems and the constraints in their business, and then we figure out how to help them grow. And so basically what we do is we identified all of the major constraints that exist in their sales pipeline and process, and we go through all of those and shore up those major leaks so that they are getting more deals on without having to do any more marketing. And so this is how I was explaining it. So I would say in a nutshell, basically what we do, just like you would take a property and rehab it so that it could rent roll properly, we take a property management company and we rehab it so that it can rent roll properly, so that you can make money effectively and more easily. And so this is how I was explaining what we do to those that were looking at us. And so they were thinking, well, do you give us leads? Do you do this? And I said, no, it's different than all of that. We're not doing SEO. We're not doing pay-per-click. We're not doing content marketing. We're not doing social media marketing to try and grow your company. And here's why: it doesn't work. And it's hurting the entire industry. And so let me explain this to you. So the reason it's hurting the entire industry, you can go right now on Google Trends, go to trends.google.com, filter for the US, and then change the date all the way back as early as it goes to the present. That's 2004 to the present. And search volume for the keyword property management has not increased since 2004. In fact, it peaked, it went up a little bit, and then in July of 2011, it started going down, and it's been on a downward trend since July of 2011. So if search volume, if less people are searching for property management, why is everybody focusing, is everybody focusing on SEO? Oh, we need our listings optimized on our website, and we need this on our website, and we need our website optimized, and we need SEO. People aren't searching for property management. Search volume's gone down. Now here's the kicker: competition in that area has gone way up because all the marketers have convinced everybody in the property management industry that that's what they need to do in order to grow and scale their business. And it's not true, and it's not working. So they end up spending thousands of dollars, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars over the course of a year or two, and then they end up with very little to show for it. And if they actually look at their numbers and where their acquisitions are coming from, most of their contracts that they're actually closing or getting on are coming from word of mouth. And so if most of their deals are coming from word of mouth, but they're spending all their money on cold lead marketing and advertising, there's a disconnect there. And the challenge is, in Australia, for example, property management, 80% of single-family residential is professionally managed by a property manager. Property manager is a household word there, the way realtor is a household word here. But in the US, we've got maybe, according to the Iceberg report and some other anecdotal things, maybe 20 to 30% of single-family residential is professionally managed. And so if that's the case, that only 20 to 30% of single family are professionally managed, there's a huge opportunity, right? There is a blue ocean. There's 70 to 80% are not professionally managed, and they're not looking for property management. They're not looking for it. They're not even looking for it on YouTube, Mike Mora. Not necessarily. They're not looking for property management. So here's the analogy I'll give to property managers. If a plumber came up to you because they want your business and they said, hey, property manager, I'm a plumber and I want you to give us business, and I've got this really cool blog and I have social media content on plumbing. I talk about plumbing all the time. Do you want to watch it? Would you subscribe to my plumbing channel? And are you interested in like learning more about plumbing and just following us on? The thing with property management is your target audience don't really care about property management. They need it. They might not know they need it, but they need it. But they aren't wanting to subscribe, or they don't care about following you or seeing you on social media just so that they can become your fan and then they maybe become a client, right? So if there's all this blue water available, what we do is we help shift our clients' thinking away from cold lead marketing towards what actually works, right? Everybody was talking about SEO, SEO, SEO. You want to know I had a 12,000 door company come up to me at the conference. I had 1,200 door companies come up to me at the conference, and they're all losing more doors than they're getting on right now. And they have the top spots on Google. They have the top spots. The top spot on Google isn't all it's cracked up to be. Right now, the biggest companies are losing more doors than they're getting on due to attrition, because the market's good right now and people are selling off. The great sell-off, they're losing more doors than they're getting on right now. And they have infinite ad budgets. They're spending all the money on SEO and pay-per-click and content marketing and everything that they can spend money on. They can't spend enough. They're maxing out their ad spend. They can't spend enough to get on more doors than they're losing due to attrition right now. You cannot outpace the market with marketing, right? But if you can figure out how to target the blue water, right? The blue ocean, the people that aren't looking for property management, the 70 or 80% that could use it or that need it, and you can figure out how to target them, you're not competing in that red water with all the sharks down there doing SEO and pay-per-click and all the stuff that's not working, fighting over the existing tiny amount of market share that already exists. You can't even convince people to switch property management companies if they're already with one, unless they're in some massive amount of pain, right? I mean, they have to be like embezzled against, or like, you know, some sort of real problem before they're like, or, you know, in pain before they're gonna try and jump over the fence to another company and go through the whole hassle of finding a new property manager. And that's a really ineffective strategy for growth, is to try and just beat out your competition. When there's 70 or 80% available potential market share waiting and could use property management, right now, if the US, this wave that I believe is starting to build and surge, if it started to shift even slightly towards being like Australia, which has happened in Australia, if what happened in Australia starts to happen here, which I believe it will, there is not enough property management business owners or businesses in the US to handle that level of growth. Going from 20 to 30% to going to maybe 50, 60, maybe 80% like Australia. There's not enough businesses to handle the business that would be created by that. And the companies that exist right now wouldn't be able to handle doubling or tripling their growth because they'd fall apart. They don't have the support and the structure to deal with that. Right now, most of the property management companies I'm dealing with, their number one challenge is growth. Dealing with like getting on doors. Their number two challenge is dealing with growth. Staffing, hiring, building a team. And they're not even doing that effective. And so we're going to be announcing some new stuff and talking about some new stuff relevant to that in the future. But at DoorGrow, basically what we do is we're going to rehab your business so growth happens much more easily. You're able to go out into the blue ocean and capture all the fish that you want far more easily. You're not going to feel constrained or feel like you're competing with others in your market. And we're going to raise the whole level up. A rising tide raises all ships. Well, guess what happens when everything is in low tide, like the industry is right now? And there's a bad reputation in the industry, and most of the companies are caught in the shitty property management cycle of suck, right? And they're dealing with bad doors and bad owners, and there's a bad reputation in the industry. Well, you've got low tide, but a rising tide raises all ships. Not all ships. Some ships sink because they have holes in them and they can't survive. And it will squeeze out the bad property management companies, the people that aren't willing to move forward, the people that aren't willing to adopt new technology or to do things a new or different way. And they're going to be able to go out and create new market share and create an industry that didn't and create clients that didn't exist before. Those clients are not price sensitive. They're not looking on Google. You're building relationships of trust. You're able to do one-to-many sales and close more deals more quickly. And those are warm leads, and warm leads take a fraction of the time to close. Most property managers don't even have time to follow up on cold leads right now. Most property management business owners are a terrible part-time salesperson, meaning they're only spending about 5 to 10 hours a week focused on sales. You should just drop the mic and ride off and jet ski into the sun. Boom! So anyway, I wanted to let you guys know this is what I've been talking about with business owners here at the Property Management Conference. Most property management businesses have leaks in their company right now that they can't see, that exist in their sales pipeline. They can't see that branding might be an issue and costing them 50% of their deals and leads that they're getting on right now. They can't see it because maybe their branding is real estate, such and such realty. And so they're like, oh, well, I decided not to go with you because I wanted a property management company. I wanted a specialist. I just got a call from a client, a Voxer message from a client yesterday. He was telling me that since he's changed his brand from a real estate name to Eclipse Property Management, Chuck Kelly, he said he's now getting clients that are signing on that didn't sign on with him before. And it's because of that shift in branding. No one's ever going to call you up and say, hey, I didn't want to go with you because you look like you are a realtor or a real estate company and you're probably just focused on the next deal and not on my property. You never hear that kind of stuff. It's a blind spot in the industry. Then also reputation, also your sales process, also your website, also your pricing strategy and psychology. Also getting caught in the cycle of suck. There's all these different leaks that exist in a business. So we consult property management businesses, help them shore up all these major leaks so that growth happens naturally, so they don't have to spend a bunch of money on wasted money on SEO, pay-per-click, content marketing, social media marketing that isn't working. And by the whole industry focusing on that stuff right now, it's keeping the entire industry small. It's keeping everybody in the little tide pool with all the sharks in the bloody water fighting with each other, feeling like it's all competitive and competition, instead of going out into the blue ocean where there is a ton of potential available market share that's just waiting to be created, the way it has been in Australia, right? So this is the stuff that we focus on at DoorGrow. So hopefully now you're a little bit more clear on what we do. And if you want specifics and details, reach out to my team, go to doorgrow.com and check us out. And that is it. I'm out. Bye, everybody. I am driving back to my Airbnb to hang out with my wife, Ashley, and I'm done with the NARPM conference. Bye, everyone.